Oh, bang, 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 bang. Welcome to the Back Office Show live. Yes, I'm hoping that you can hear me, and I'm gonna. I just realised I can't even read your write-ins because you're so far away from me now. Now I think you're a bit nearer. So I can see straight in front of me. I'll just let you know how I've set it up. I've moved all the back office around. So I've got my webcam obviously pointing here. I've got my monitor here where you are chatting. I've got over there the CAD. And of course here I've got my fancy schmancy looking at my hands rig, which you're going to see momentarily. But today is a video about, of course, the Odroid. The Odroid-go, and we're going to be messing with it because we're going to start trying to put on the fantastical hat. So let's have a look. I'm going to show you all this setup now. Watch this. Bang! Look at that. High tech, isn't it? This is all very fancy schmancy today, and very uncomfortable, of course, because it's not actually at the teardown lab bench. It's at this little bench. And if you look at the picture I've posted in the Twitter, I believe, and maybe the Discord, you can see how that's set up. And also I can do this, and this by magic switch between the schematic. Aren't we professional here? But I'm going to be having to do all of this at the same time as obviously trying to manage everything else. Now I am on the Discord. It's suspiciously silent, to be honest with you. I don't hear many people saying hello, but hopefully you can hear me, and I certainly can't hear you yet. So I want to show you some of the bits we're going to use. So of course you've got your Odroid-go, we're going to put that right there, and you've got your Odroid hat board. That's going to be a very important component, obviously. And then these are the rest of the bill of materials that have been kindly sent to me by Chrissy. So Chrissy, I'm eternally thankful. And of course he's got these headphone doodads, which are not quite the right size, but then neither are my footprints, but we'll make those fit. And there's a bit of pin header. Now this fancy rig does allow me to zoom, but it is auto magical, so you'll have to be patient while it does its thing. And then it has a focus button, believe it or not. We're very low tech here. It's a manual autofocus, as it were. I'm just going to set it off. So you can see there's the hole, the footprint for our IC, and actually I haven't seen the IC yet. We're going to have a look around for that. And then there's our pin header, which we're going to solder straight on like that. For test purposes, that's the way we want it, because then I can plug it straight into the top of the Odroid. Nice and easy like. Just a quick look in the actual chat before I continue though. Just make sure I say a few shout outs. McBeam, thank you very much for joining. Flocker Sea Cows, hooray, you are here. Robert Taylor. Robert, you want to be making one of these, you've been asking me, so this is the instructions for you. Edwin, here we go, we're ready here, Edwin. Steve Green, evening. Andrew Fennett, evening. Andrew Dalton, hello Andrew. And your Jack, what streaming software you use? I use OBS, which stands for OBS. And Craig Jones says hi Craig. So just to show you also in the actual stream, the soldering iron I'm going to be using today is this one. If you remember, one of these crazy USB ones. Interestingly enough, when I plugged it in, I left the plastic lid on, and the plastic lid caught fire. Well, almost did. It melted. So don't plug it in with the lid still on. It doesn't like it. Rightly so though. That kind of makes some sense, I guess. McBeam, Watcher 75, Kevin Lee, whoa, Custado, Miley O'Reilly, woohoo! Right, so we're all here. If you don't mind, guys, I'm just gonna plug in my soldering iron. Actually, maybe I'm not. Let's just. I'm gonna zoom out a touch. Let's just look real quick at the diagram, and then we're going to just get our components ready. So what I've got here, I've got the PCB layout here, and I'm going to be using Eagle's tools to sort of tell me what the values of the resistors are. And you've got 470R. There is a command, by the way, that lets you pop all the values back on. In fact, the resistor values are, I've just realised there's no silk screen on the board actually with the resistor things. I must have omitted that, but certainly you've got the resistor values there. So we're going to I'm just trying to look through, see which ones we've got. 470R, 470, is that one there? 470R, There's some capacitors. I just want to get all the 470s basically where I can. 22, 22, 22. Right, so we've got a couple of 470s. Let's start with R7 and R6 basically with 470s. So we're going to be doing those first. So we've got plenty of opportunity to chat really, because of course it's going to take a little bit of time for things to warm up and all of that stuff. And ooh, these bloody things, it's weird, the cable, these things are so light, the cable is always in danger of pulling it off the bench there. 470R, thank you Chrissy, so kindly written the values on there. That's set basically is going to help me out. So Craig says, recently joined the Discord, have you now had these boards made up or is this just a test board? No, I've got 10 of these boards and they are being manually made up. They're not being fabbed basically, not yet. You never go to fab on a V1 unless you are insanely confident. And these resistors appear to be very tiny. In fact, I don't know if you can see them there even on the bench. They are small guys. So I'm going to zoom right in when it comes to placing them. So this is kind of neat though. Look how, I know it's blurry at the minute, but watch this. We're going to push the autofocus, right? But look at what I can do. I can do, and then that way, I'm going to move this Odroid out of the way because it's in front of me. You will see when I put my pieces down where they go. Aren't I very high technical, eh? High technical. Chat, 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 says McBeam. Chat, chat, chat. It's all chat, chat, chat. Oh, hello. I hear a rumbling there. Right, so this is my first time using this USB soldering iron to actually do some, I'm going to put inverted commas, real work. It doesn't have much thermal mass though. There we go. Now I want you to tell me, by the way, if you want it in Predator Vision, as Miley O'Reilly says, or if you want it as non-Predator Vision. Or I can flip between the two occasionally as required. Look, done. Not a problem for me. Look, you've even got black and white, but I don't think black and white really adds much to it there. So we've done R6 and R7. If you go to the Git hub, you can play along at home if you're really keen. Now I'm going to be doing C9, which is a 2U2. So if you see there, C9 is 2U2 and C8 is a 2U2. So 2U2s. So we're going to have a look through. What is a 2U2? Oh, there we go. A 2.2 microfarad. That's what it is, by the way. That's how you're supposed to say it. Is whenever you're asking for components, ask them for a 2U2 microfarad and see what sort of look you're going to get from that. So I don't know how interesting a live build stream can be, to be honest with you. It's a bit of an experiment, really. But I'm happy to do it. Now I'm going to try this one with a slightly different technique, by the way. The difference being, I'm going to try now to solder one pad on each side, and then I'm going to offer up the component. There we go. It's amazing how far away from my eyes this feels, because normally the actual back office bench is pretty close to my face when I want it to be, but this is pretty much the opposite. It's easy to solder though. Nice board layout. Whoever laid this board out did a pretty reasonable job. So Craig Jones is saying he's still waiting for his Odroid to be delivered last month. Crikey O'Reilly. I tell you what, I ordered mine allegedly on back order, right? And it came like next day. And some people are saying, YouTuber privilege. Possibly. All I can say is possibly. I mean, I didn't get it for free or anything, I bought it. So we're going to get the next 3 resistors out. This thing's a quick should be a reasonably quick old board to make. I should have done a couple. But if you remember, we're actually debugging this. This is kind of a hope and a prayer that it's all going to work, really. You never know when you design stuff like that, and there is a good chance it's going to have some sort of issue, but I don't know, we've kind of got away with it the last few boards, if you recall, where stuff has just gone together. I do have those Pi boards, by the way, the Commodore, what is it, 1541 disk drive boards we designed. They've all ordered, so we're going to get those, you know, built up. We can do another stream actually if this goes well. I'll build up one of those in a stream, but that's going to be a bit more tedious because about 1 billion parts on those, lots of MOSFETs. Electron Ash, hello to you. You can't see at home, but I've just had a surface mount escape. He jumped. These are like those little jumping flea things. If you get them wrong, off they go. And you will apologise if there is lag with the chat because I'm staring down. It's not like a normal stream where I'm looking at the screen, or at least got my eyes in the vicinity of the screen. My eyes are definitely down at the bench at the minute. And I will look up from time to time though, because I'm going to have to relax my eyes because they're going to go bloody screwy this distance. So let's have a look. So Craig says it was shipped out from the US the following day, made to the UK, but has been sat with customs since. That's not fair, isn't it? It's not bloody fair at all. Customs are probably playing with it. They've got it out the box and they're like, "Ooh, let's have a quick go." I wonder if, ooh, crikey! I wonder if anybody has ever had something delivered from, you know, like overseas or whatever, or even just from a shop, like an Xbox, and then when they've gone to open it, they found that it's all been played with because the shipping company just couldn't resist having a little go. Right, so we've got R1 and R5, 7K5, 2K7, 2K2. Right, so R1 is 7K5 and R5 is 2K7. 7K5 R1. Customs are waiting for the Audio Hat board. No, they're not. They're all here. Mine slipped straight through. It was insane, by the way. PCBWay has done a bloody good job of these. I ordered them on like the Friday and they arrived on the Tuesday morning or something. That is bonkers, isn't it? I don't know how they could do that. They certainly know how to get stuff shipped. Let's go into Predator mode. Predator mode. This is kind of cute. I almost wish if there was if I mount a monitor to this, I think I could use this as a sort of almost a magnifying bench. I can actually fit different lenses into this. If I fit a different lens, I'm pretty sure it'll give me the zoom I need to actually do that. Right, 2K7. We need a 2K7. Oh! Chrissy! Chrissy, is there a 2K7 anywhere? And I dropped my mic. We're professional here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm having a look, Chrissy. I can't see me 2K7. Let's have a look again. So we got the 470. Oh, hang on. 2.7K. Yes, we do. We do have it. Phew. Phew, 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 phew. I take it all back, Chrissy. You are a thorough chap. That could have been a disaster, couldn't it? Absolute disaster. Now, if anybody wants to, in the Discord, actually chat, I can chat to you hands-free because I'll hear your voice. And the boys and girls at home should also be able to hear your voice. So let's get this bad boy on there. But you could, can you even see it? Look at it. It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. And these aren't the smallest surface mount by no means, but they are definitely small enough. If you're going to try to make a board, get yourself some tweezers, as per usual. I'm evangelical about saying get yourself good tweezers for good reason, trust me. Right, I think we're down. We're down to just the last caps now. Crikey, the last caps. Yeah, Chrissy. Phew. So we're going to go down to these last ones and look. So the last are C5, C4, C5, C5, all of these guys here. And I'm hoping they're all similar values, but they might not be. So let's see. 2U2. 2U2. 100 nanofarads. 100 nanofarads. 2U2. 10. Bleh. So 2, 2, and 2. Okay, I'm going to see if I can remember those three twos. And I said 2. It was 2.2, right? Yeah, 2.2. 3 2.2 nanofarads. Oh, Electron Ash. I get them off eBay if I've got the choice, to be honest with you. I get them off eBay. Have a look see. I never do the Alibaba thing. A lot of people say, oh, you should use Alibaba, but no, I just go on eBay. And I do have quite a lot of books, but no matter how big those books are, they never seem to have what you want. That is the one downside. However, if you're doing standard digital electronics, which I know you are, sir, rather than these like analogy circuits, you will get away with it. Whereas some of these things are a bit analog, so you kind of have to go with the flow. These are sort of coupling capacitors and things like that, so not so essential the values. I mean, they have to have a value, as in a working thing. In fact, sometimes you can even omit them, but close as possible is good. And to be honest, a lot of the time it goes the same with resistors and things. You're talking tiny minuscule currents here. So let's have a look at the last one. So that's 100, 100. Okay, so C1 and C2 are 100. 100 nanofarades. I'm guessing this is 100 nanofarads, but I can't be sure. 10 nanofarads. Is that 100 nanofarads? That's the question of the day. Is 100,000 picofarads the same as 100 nanofarads? Answers on the postcard. I'm gonna think it is. I'm gonna unwrap them anyway. But if I'm wrong, just shout it out. I don't see 100 in the pile of parts from Chrissy, so I'm guessing it's probably okay. Actually, Chrissy, I have noticed something. I'm going to just do a little bit of a stop there for a minute. We do have a 100 nanofarads to place, and then we have a 10 microfarad and a 0.1 microfarad. 10 microfarads. I don't see the 0.1, by the way, unless a 0.1 microfarad is also a so you just googled it, Custado. Nice. Come on, this is always the tedious part, just getting them a bloody play ball. Come on, get out of it, get out of it, you. Right, there we go. 1 and 2. Oh, this is so funky. The end of this iron is oxidizing. It's bloody funkified for some reason. So Custado, how's things, sir? Are you back home now from your weekend in London? I can't see if you've replied, by the way, because I am critically involved in the old soldering here. There we go. I think I'm having an issue with my little USB soldering iron. It's really oxidizing like nuts now, which doesn't bode well because we do have a surface mount to put on. So let's have a look see. I think we're down to our last couple of components now, really. We're right here. Nice bit of autofocus there, just blurry. So let's have a look. The last two components are C7 and C6. C7 being 10 microfarads, which we have got, and C6, which is 0.1. Now, is 0.1 one of the values we've already used? That is the question, because I don't see another pile of anything here. So while I'm soldering that, please feel free to ponder your existence and let me know if that is the case. So dirty. It's a dead dirty iron. I've got one of those balls of stuff here, which is a bit like a thing that you use to clean your dishes. They sort of do an okay job, really. So 100 nanofarad. Oh yeah. So electron ashes. He is correcting me. That one that we used earlier is the one we want. We'll do the trick nicely. Thank you, sir. And I do apologise for asking the questions like that, but they just don't stick in my head. I don't know why. It's probably because I don't do it often enough. Right, good. Gonna zoom out now. We're gonna have a little break and a little tidy up here. So that's all of the surface mount dust applied. So we're gonna put all the surface mount dust in the bag, out of the way. I'd say, Alex, I think you're right. I think I need to have like a Dave Jones style fit picture I can add to things, don't I? That would be sweet. But what I need is I'm waiting for the channel to get big enough where people say, Andrew, I want to do the artwork for your channel, because I kind of need a new intro and I need a new sort of patron outro, because a lot of people suggesting that maybe I need to up my patron game now, because if I'm doing a lot of these things now and it's a lot of fun for people, and we can then start doing some really cool projects more and more, with more and more resources. So the problem is I have is that I'm not massively skilled in all of this video. Chrissy is saying, Chrissy, what? No, ignore me. What's ignore? Who's ignoring you, sir? So yeah, I do need aid on some of those things. So maybe that could be a stretch goal. So I'm just going to try to adjust my lighting here. That's a bit too much adjusted. There we go. Just make it a bit brighter for you, because we're gonna do the interesting part now, which is the chip itself. Boom. I feel a little bit like that guy. What's the name of that guy who fixes apples? He always does the videos on apples and he's always cursing out Apple. And by the way, hopefully tell me if the audio's okay, because the mic is all the way over there, really far away. Ah, no, Castardo, not the names outro. I mean just the actual pledge drive. You can. This channel appreciates patrons. I can't do it without my patrons in reality, but the kind of advertising that there is one. Right. Oh, I can kind of hear noise. Is someone there? Is someone in the Discord? Right, so here's the critical bit, by the way. Here's the chip. So what I'm doing at the moment, and you got to remember, I'm really quite at arm's length here, so it's very difficult for me to see. But I'm trying to basically get it centered up so I can solder it. And I might just cheat, actually. I might just try to solder one leg. Oh, this. Hang on. Bear with me. I'm going to get some flux. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. I got some flux in my vest. Ugh. Right. I'm just decantering some flux. Ow! Shit! Hang on.
I'm just decantering some flux. Ow, shit! Hang on.
Okay, someone's on Discord on echoey thing, please. What's your... if you could mute your one or the other, please, that would be appreciated. Yeah, that little bit there, what happened, by the way, was just me dropping a load of flux onto myself. Unfortunately, I do have it in this rather stupidly big bottle, and as I was trying to decant it, I touched the soldering iron tip, so that was not good. But yeah, we're okay now. We're fine. We're fine. So hopefully we're all back on track. So the USB soldering irons are kind of a little bit on the whole on a little bit scary because they're very light. So the only way you can sort of position them so they don't fall off your desk, which means they are positioned in weird places. Right, so hopefully that chip is still the right way round. Can't quite tell because it's coated in flux now where the top left corner is, but right, so I think we're okay there. Right, Craig, Kevin, that's fine. Kevin, all you need to do, if you want to join the Discord, just mute YouTube. It's absolutely fine. It happens all the time. Right, so I've got one blob there on our chip. So I'm going to see if I've got any chance of positioning it up. Again, it's kind of hard to see at this distance. So I'm going to just take it away and eyeball this. Again, stay. Ooh! By Jove, I think I've done it. I think I've done it. So that's pretty good. So there's lots of ways to do this, by the way. You can kind of go and solder each pin individually. Or if you've got a good temperature controlled soldering iron, not like this one, but I'm going to show you the trick anyway. It's you kind of get a ball of solder like that, and you kind of work along each pin. In fact, I think that's done it. Or if you're really keen, you can actually run it along the board like that, and that will solder that side. And you can do the same. Put a bit of flux because again this is a filthy iron that's oxidizing instantly. It's all pretty good apart from that one bridge, annoyingly. I'm just gonna and the same on the other side. So now I'm going to get some solder braid. So how's everybody been doing anyway? Is it been a rewarding week? It's hard to believe actually, tomorrow's Friday already, isn't it? Week just goes by so bloody quickly. Cool, I think we're done. I'll just hold that up a bit. I'll hold it up and see if we can get a bit of focus on it at that range, but I'll get a manual thing. Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. Good. So the next thing we need to fit, of course, is the pin header, and that's all together now a bit less fiddly. So just going to pop that on like that. Mr. Dalton, where are you? Mr. Dalton, why are you not in our chat? I feel lonely. Right, so I'm gonna do this manually now because it's I'm not using it the way it's supposed to be used, basically. So you can get a 90-degree right angle pin header for this purpose, but I don't have any. So instead, I am doing it this way, but that works too. Let's just get all those up. funny thing happened the other day. I wanted to use the FLIR one that I've got, but it wouldn't work for some reason on my phone, which is peculiar considering it used to. So I don't know if they've done any updates to Android that makes your FLIR one not work, but that's bloody annoying.
Hello.
Hello, is that Mr. Dalton?
It is. I'm hoping my clicky keyboard isn't too loud.
It's not very loud, it's fine.
Oh, so I'm not typing on it.
Oh, okay. Look at this. Ow, that's hot. We'll look at it momentarily once it's you know, cooled down.
Yes, I shall try and drop your parcel off on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Marveloso. What do you think of this little gadget, Andrew? Doesn't it look quite good? It looks real, like a real thing.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, who are we hearing?
If Jared has joined us.
Oh, right. Hello, Jared.
I didn't realise you were on Discord.
I am on Discord. Oh, there's some clicky keyboard action from Mr. Dalton.
That's my clicky keyboard, which I enjoy.
Specifically, I didn't realise you were using Discord on your stream.
Ah. No, we're always Discording on this stream. So I'm just going to check now. I might mute the Discord. No, I think if you can mute yourselves momentarily. I just want to explain one quick thing to the boys and girls at home. Now, the headphone jack I've fitted here is kind of wrong. It's actually that's a 2.5 jack anyway. So I'm going to be fitting a 3 basically, so I can plug my headphones straight in without an adapter. Although I did buy some adapters. So what I'm doing now, I'm just checking what's the pin out. So you can see this pin here is ground, that's the ground pin, and then you've got left and right. So you've got the right and the left there. Again, I'm not so worried about the left and right because they're easy to reconfigure at the moment, so I'm just cutting up wires for things. So I've just got a bit of wire, and I'm just going to... They're going to be quite long wires. I have worked out, it is possible, by the way, to sort of cut these and solder them so it's straight on. That is definitely doable, but... do I want to do it now? I don't really want to do it now. Maybe I'll do it now. Alright, I'll do it now. You convinced me. I just want to check that that'll still fit. Yeah, that'll fit. Good. Right, so Chrissy, by the way, your choice was pretty good. It does look like I can do it with some minimal effort here.
Dalton, you changing my nickname again?
No.
So the voices you hear, by the way, are people joining on the Discord.
You've got 8 people on the Discord chat.
Really?
Oh.
That's an unusual number. It's not the usual number of miscreants. Is miscreants a fair word to use in this context, by the way?
That's a deviance.
Deviants. So we've got that on there now. Looking slim. Looks massive compared to all the other little tiny components we have, but there we go. What I'm going to do... yes, thank you everybody. It's like coughing and spluttering and wheezing. We're all dying today. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make some jumper wire, and how I'm doing that is I'm actually just stripping some flex. By the way, what do you think of my multimedia setup, everybody in the old chat or Discord? Are you impressed that I've got so many desktops and cameras going at once?
It's quite impressive, but it's only in 720p.
That's more of a limit of my bandwidth on my upload that I haven't. If you recall, I have been having some issues with my internet. There's something weird. I'm telling you what, I'm using this solder iron. It's like glowing red hot. I think it must be insanely hot. I mean, I hope it hasn't like burnt out my digital to analog converter chip. I didn't. these USB things, I think maybe they're just uncontrolled. Because I remember I was saying it's getting really oxidizing. I think it's just pumping out massives of heat.
As for your current stream setup, I quite like it. I was wondering what the point in the YouTube chat is, but then I realised it's for people watching it back later.
It is for people watching it back later, exactly. YouTube does give the people now the ability to actually play back the chat, replay. But this is a bit nicer, I think. It's a bit more permanent. So that's the one channel hooked up. So you see I've gone from there to there, and then I've got another pin that's just pointing through here. So I need to connect this pin to that pad there, and we're good, we're done. We're almost there now. I'd say we're almost there, but then we've got like a kind of a weird techie bit where I have to kind of get hold of the firmware and download that onto the unit, but we're almost there. Okay, so that's the last piece now. Hopefully we won't have to do this too often in the it's up to, by the way, anyone watching, if you know, my unit is already I already hacked mine, so it has an internal analog path. What I could do, I think I can actually fit this board inside the case. I think there's just enough room to do that because I've already got my headphone socket actually inside. But yeah, that's it now. I'm going to unplug my USB soldering iron, and we're going to review. We're going to sit back and have a look at what we've got here. So there's our Odroid, and there's the hat plugged in. Boom. Oh, I just remembered something. It's kind of, you see I've got the blue standoffs here. So you can either fit these with or without the standoffs. You see the blue chunks there? What I was thinking of doing, I remembered now, I was going to pull those off afterwards so it would sit flush. See there's a little gap here, so it will sit flush. But because of the way I've mounted the headphone, I don't think it can ever really be flush now. Anyway, not a big deal. Who cares? To be honest with you, if it works, I'll be happy. That is absolutely fine. Yeah, you could fit the board fully internal. There's no reason you can just... you see there's loads of room here. Just stick it in there, basically. And then you still have to wire up a lot of these, though, manually, internally with Kynar. And then run the wires to wherever you've got your headphone socket. Mine's there. If you remember, I fitted mine there. Again, more trouble than it's worth, probably, to be honest with you. For me, it's more about just using the device. So I think we're going to have to switch over now because I need to get the firmware on. So I'm going to move over this away, and we can probably switch back to our normal setup. And I say normal setup because I don't have me little green screen going on or anything. But let's have a look. We need to take the card out of the back of this, and we need to get hold of a micro SD card adapter, which we have done. So I was kindly pointed in the right direction of where to get hold of the firmware earlier. I'll show you that right now in the old Discord. So the firmware is located here. So this is the Go Play firmware on the crashoverride site. So you download that. So I've been told, you download that. And then you have to copy it somewhere. That's the tricky part. I think you copy it to the Odroid firmware folder of all places. And we're going to pop that right there. And hopefully that's done something for us. I'm just sort of jumping through all these different setups here. This is the one I wanted. Pop that back out and see what happens. So I'm going to pop the card in, and we're going to turn it on. In fact, let's remove that for now. Oh, cool, Mickey Mouse. Right, forget that. But how does it get the firmware is what I want to know. Is there anybody in this stream who is aware of the firmwaring procedure? Have I got the right firmware with the audio? I think that's the first question I'll have. how do you tell? I mean, I'll zoom in on this so you can see what version numbers and stuff I'm running with. Hopefully it makes sense to somebody. Yeah, there's no sound, by the way, because it's set to the headphone out on mine.
Chrissy says hold down B when you turn it on.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it off again. I've got B held down. I'm going to turn it on. Boom.
Swear you're from Wales, Roberto.
I am, yes. But
I guess I'm just going to press start.
Same here, but
We got a couple of butties here.
yeah, unfortunately.
you're adopted Welsh as well, Andrew.
I know. I feel more Welsh than English a lot of the time. We're all
all the best people in Wales, see?
the best people. Okay.
Well, that's not true because I'm in Wales.
That's because you're one of the best people.
Clearly, we have never met, sir.
Clearly not.
So in anticipation, by the way, I'm going to get my headphones on. Now, Chrissy, tell us, there's a way of switching between the DAC and the headphones. I'm not sure what that is. So, Electron Ash, there is a firmware.bin file, but I don't know if mine is already programmed with that firmware or not. I think I've got the latest firmware.bin. That was quite a while ago. Right. So Chrissy, what was the procedure though if you've got the ability? Do you have to hold down the sound? Someone said, I remember reading that there's a way of doing it and you'll get an icon flash up somewhere in the corner. Well, while we're pondering that, shall I just, I'm going to plug this in and just see if I get anything out of this, like a click or a pop or my ears bleed. So far, nothing.
Yeah, 3D box for that on top would look cool.
I'm going to try again, but I don't think... I don't think I'm getting even a pop or a whiz or anything out of that thing. I'm going to just try popping that here. Oh, that's so cool. So you can... Okay, completely wangled. Oh no, I've dropped my mic.
Have you set the firmware up on the Odroid so that it's outputting audio over gpio?
There's a way of doing it, and I can't remember what it was. I'm going to try booting it holding the sound button down or something. It was something like that. Or we're going to have to search for it, that's all. It's weird, it seems like if you hold down buttons when you turn it on, it definitely makes it do things differently. Right, I'm going to have a quick look at the forum, because if you remember there was a forum set up for the Odroid-go. I wanna be the very best. No one ever was. Oh yeah, by the way, Jared, do you remember the that Pokemon song has been with me a long time, all week. Electron Ash, you're talking nonsense, though, right? You're one of these whiz banger software, hardware, GPIO guys. So as Chrissy says, update the device firmware first. I believe I have done the updation, guys. Are you posting it in the Discord link? Post me the Discord link on the Odroid. Crash override Odroid-go firmware releases. So I'm going to show you what I'm looking at on the desktop, basically. So one of those. Which one? Crikey.
I think holding down that sound button actually wipes it factory defaults.
Does it really?
It rings a bell.
Right, okay, let's go back to basics on this one. We need to figure out what is the version of the firmware that actually supported this in the first place. So now if you're looking in the forum, crashover, I did post it somewhere. Okay. Hang on. The external DAC only for the main unit shows it. Hold volume and press right to toggle it. So let's hope that we've got that version. And it doesn't. I suspect Chrissy and people are right that I don't have that firmware. By the way, I will have to do something. But Dagnamit. Okay, let's update the other firmware. So Christopher. What are you telling me here about this firmware? There are two firmwares to update. Which is the firmware that I need to update? Is it this one, the 2108010600108 factory? And I am going to be looking at this here in front of me to see. My version is 201807112. So let's have a look what he says. Okay, so I do need the 810. So does anybody know where the firmware.bin is for the the one he's talking about, basically, which is the 810? Steve, anybody? Any links? Does anybody have a link to the binary.bin, the firmware.bin file? Is it this one? It does say firmware bin here. Let's have a look. See? Show in folder. It's rather inconveniently a tar.gzip. But it does say, look, Odroid firmware. Oh, hang on, it's got a tar in. Okay, so Steve, this is the one that I've updated it with. I've already updated it with this one. That's literally, quite literally, the one I thought I just did. 210807112. Oh no, that's true. Let's see where you got to put this though. I'll have to read the instructions now. Pop the SD card back in the piece. Okay, so there's two firmwares. Let's go back to basics. The two firmwares. Scan the next. So one is the Go and one is the system firmware. So I believe we have the Go firmware. Wherever it's gone. God, repairing the drive. What's happened? What's happened? Crikey. Come on. This is tedious, isn't it? Right. Okay. So we've got this file here which we put in the firmware file, which was Go. This is the Go Play, but maybe it's not in the right place. So where does that have to go? Steve is saying that needs to go to the root of the SD. Okay, so I'll put this on the root, which is there next to the play.fw. While we're deciding where all these things should go, I don't know where the Odroid-go .img thing should go though. Let's see if that's made any difference anyway. I do wish there was a little bit more sort of clarity on these instructions really. It is a bit of a sort of messing around, isn't it, sometimes with these things. That's not done any difference. And actually, if you recall, I already did the process for holding down B when it boots up or whatever. So when I hold down the B button, it says Go Play. Okay, Go Play 201-80712. So I don't know on this thing. I think if anybody does know, please sort of type in what you think. Okay, so if you don't need to blah blah blah, where's the damn firmware.bin? You know, like, just can someone just give me a process for this instead of just glib like bits? You need to do this, you need to do that. Just like, let's do it step by step here. Give me the tell me the two files I need to plop on here before I go nuts. Right. I'm just waiting for it to appear now. Steve, you can keep saying you need to update the device firmware as many times as you like, but until someone just says actually where it is and how I do it, it ain't gonna happen. Right, so we have these files here, firmware.bin and Go Play. I'm going to delete both of them. Right, bang. I don't see a firmware.bin in that 806 one that was sent earlier. It just has this IMG file in there. Steve, just post them in Discord. Right, so Chrissy's now posted some stuff. Let's see which. So we've got one called firmware. Let's start with that one. Okay, so it's the one that says 806 factory. Okay. And I'm guessing from what you're saying is you can't program this using the... So you have to update the Odroid-go via Windows USB, not USB. Alright, so if you've done this before, by the way, it's just quite a pain in the ass thing you've got to do with the lead. I thought that they would have done this with a decent kind of self-programming thing, but it can't be done, it seems. Right, so let's program that in. So I'm plugging in my Odroid now via the USB, basically. And I'm going to download, this is the one I've downloaded already. I'm going to open that in 7-zip. Which seems to be this thing. And we're going to... I'm guessing if you've got Python installed, you can do that nice and simply. And if you're like me and you haven't, I did have the bloody tool on here. So Camots is saying, holy crap, I made an entire video on this. You haven't watched it? I probably have watched some of it. I don't tend to watch everything on the internet all the time about these things. Right. So Jutley says the 201-80806 factory was testing firmware. So I would flash the one before. Now, can somebody remind me what was the name? So you're going to say, you said this one's a better firmware to do. What was the name of the bloody Windows program for this that does it? I'm pretty sure I've extracted it, but I've got it. I did it before to program the firmware first time around. 7.0 thingy. Okay, good. So Odroid-go Windows ESP something or another.
It's ESP-IDF.
ESP-IDF. I hate when it's, you know you've got it, but it's just not bloody coming up. Okay. Bing. Are you sure about that then, Rob? ESP-IDF? ESP32 flash utility. ESP32 flash utility. Right. For frig's sake. So we decided it's called ESP32 Flash Utility. Go on their website, nothing there. I can only assume it's going to be these flash download tools. I mean, this is the problem. Why this is actually what puts me off doing like messing stuff, because I always have to dick around with the tool chains on things.
Yes, the flash download tools 3.6.4, and then there's an ESP flash download tool executable.
Okay, let me just get this over where I can see it. Yeah, I can see that now.
That's it, and then the ESP32 download tool.
Oh, I think there's a whole load of bullshit you need to do now, if I recall. You gotta get the comp. Who's heavy breathing into it? You gotta get the COM port there, so that's COM4. Oh, I think you gotta like choose the file and put in the hex code. I think we decided we were going to do the 727. Nope. But we have to go in there, and it's going to be... Need to untar that one. Probably one of those. Okay, so Camots, which is the first address for? Is it for which order are we going? Bootloader, Odroid-go, or partitions?
It's bootloader first.
Bootloader, and then what?
0 times 1000.
1000. Second one.
Then it's partitions.bin.
Partitions.bin, and then I'll just put the third one in while we're looking.
Yeah, you need to put 0x1000.
Okay,
not just 1000.
I'll go add the 0x in a sec.
It's 8000 for partitions.bin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and 10,000 for the Odroid-go firmware.bin.
And then we hit start, I guess. Or there was something here. Did you have to?
Yeah, there was one of the.
I think it was do not change bin or something.
Yeah, do not change bin. It should be checked.
Yeah. Okay, and then that was it.
Yeah, 128 megabit the flash size is only.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Is it too late? Yeah, I don't think it did anything anyway.
Oh, you haven't selected the.
Oh
you
yeah.
selected the files. There's buttons on the left, checkboxes, and they turn green.
Okay. I mean, this is the problem with this sort of crap. I hate it. Right? Nobody puts the work in to just do all the bootloaders and all the process nicely, and that's what kills projects. really does. Right, I don't even know what's going on now. Do you see what I mean? What's this tool telling us? Is it working? Not working? I'm guessing it's not working. Oh, there we go. So Camot is saying erase first. And then start. Uncheck and then check all the checkboxes. It's crap, isn't it, really?
Painful, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is awful. That's always like that's always the difference between the platforms. I swear, we would choose the dev platform purely based on the tool chain because you've got to use it a billion times. Especially if you're like developing a product, you'll be there like doing the same procedure. You'll have to do it like 500 times a day. And the one that was just the quickest, that was the one that you'd just use. Somebody could do the TeamViewer session. That's Electron Ash is saying. Ah, okay, right. So I don't know what's going on at this point now. It's probably not worked. Who knows?
Have you erased it first?
I think we hit erase last time, didn't we? I think it's just this thing's crashed. I'm gonna just download it, open it again. Right. Com4. And then we did erase. Com-fail. Oh,
You have to deselect them and reselect them as well.
Could not open port Com4. Windows error, access is denied. I think you got to just close this whole thing and then start again with it.
I had that issue. You had to close the black window as well.
I used to do most of the sort of dev work in Linux when I could get away with it because you could just write decent scripts for things. Okay. Let's try again. Doesn't look like it's doing anything now, does it, really? I'll try the old unplug it from the USB, start again. Oh, so Electronash says he thinks I hit the start button too soon. Maybe. So I'm going to uncheck them. I'm going to check them again. I'm going to hit erase. Then I'm going to hit start. Is that done then, anybody? Anybody watching the stream?
Looks good now, yeah.
Right. So let's unplug that. Gonna turn that on. SD card error. Oh, I popped the old card out, didn't I? Yeah.
Camot says you may have the wrong files.
Fuck's sake. No files error. I've got no files error now. What does no files error mean? I think that's because I deleted that firmware file in the end. Do you remember I deleted a firmware file? Come on now.
Flashed.
You remember there was meant to be a firmware. I don't think I got a firmware on here, do I? Or do I? Do you have to have a firmware file on here? I flashed the wrong version. Well, because some bloody dingbat says get the older one, which I did get the fucking older one, the one that was just the one below in the list. No, it's too old. All right. Fuck's sake. Right. 272, yeah? Now we're going to do 080 bloody 6, whatever that one is. Just trying to find it. Right, so that's the 727 is the one we did, which is too old apparently, even though it's one less than what we had. So we're going to go for this stupid fucking one.
The Camot says that you do need the 727, but you selected the wrong files.
Okay. What, in this thing?
The older version, yeah. No, you were flashing the right one, but you picked the wrong files for the second two, wasn't it?
Oh, so you only need a bit of the 727.
And now it says, oh, use 0806, just flash it to 0.
Okay.
I assume there's only one file with that firmware.
There was only one file, yeah. You can see it there, that one.
So just put that to 0x0.
It's weird that it doesn't come up. Oh, there is an image though. You go for an image instead. Okay, so we have an image there now. I'm going to hit the erase again. And then start.
It's annoying that the stream is slightly behind the chat as well.
I haven't even been looking in the YouTube chat right now. It's too frustrating. I don't want to. It's too many conflicting advices on there right now. Okay, so it's finished now. Yeah, looks like it has anyway. Let's pop that out. Get an SD card error. Yeah, okay, we still have the SD card in there. That was interesting because before it used to have a picture of an SD card, didn't it, if you didn't have the SD card in it? I don't remember it saying error.
Because he says now you need Go Play on the SD card.
Right, okay, that's fine. It says no files error basically on the SD card, so I'm guessing that's the Go Play. Right. So where do we put this file, Camots? Where do we put the file? Just finding my downloads. We did download that somewhere. Go Play. I've got the Go Play. Odroid firmware, so we're going to put it into firmware.
Right, all I gotta shoot. I'll catch you all later.
Alright, see you later.
See ya.
Thanks. Right. Let's have another go. I think I'll probably make another one of these, Rob, in the on a proper video, you know, like a thing, and we will do a more concise version of how to do this. Right, okay, let's have a look. So
Make it look like you know what you're doing.
not really, but just I don't want I don't mind not looking like I know what I'm doing, but I don't want the complexities of just getting this bloody thing working to put anybody off if they want to like play with one. Right, so I'm going to hit go play and then hit start. So that's kind of cute. So I'm guessing obviously it means you can do different things. Oh, it's doing something. That may or may not be a good thing. It's doing it. It's ticking away. What's nice is at least you know I don't have a reference, so hopefully if this firmware is all right, everything, if the thing doesn't work, at least you know it's a hardware debugging issue, not a software one. But at the moment I'm not sure. But imagine if you weren't quite sure if you had the right firmware, you wouldn't know what was wrong. Don't move it while updating or it will shake the pixies out of the flash chips. Did you load ROM art? No, I didn't, Camuts. It will surprise people at home that actually most of the time I'm not playing with my Odroid. I really am not. I do have other things to do. Now that's looking bad though, isn't it? So we're going to knock that. I'm going to knock it off and then knock it back on again. And hopefully it won't do that. Shoot. Yeah, Electron Ash, you might have a bit of a wait still because we don't seem to have a functioning unit just yet. I'm gonna take the SD card out for a laugh. Folders are missing. Put your SD card back in, but well, it isn't. I didn't take it out, but okay. So now what? Do we need to use a new Odroid-go skeleton folder list? I'm suspecting the answer is going to be yes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that on the PC.
Yeah, let's pop that back in. I like it, Camots. It's like, oh well, you didn't. No, it's not. I didn't do that. How can you blame the user for not knowing? For not knowing to do that. Right, where's my little SD adapter thing? There we go. I've got like a massive collection of these SD micro SD adapters all of a sudden. Oh, come on. Updating your Odroid part. You know, it could be Electron Ash. It could be one of those magazines. Do you remember? Upgrading your Odroid. You know those ones where you used to collect it and used to keep them in its own special binder every week? Every week we'll teach you how to. So you didn't create the ROMs, col. So what's the col folder? Okay, new folder, col. Do I actually have to put files in these folders as well? I'm guessing that's for the Kalik hole vision. I'm not going to switch over just yet because oh, hello. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, it loaded up this time. Good. Okay, let's switch back to the hands on the water. Right. What was the process now? If anybody can remember, holding down B or something, was it? Holding down B. Was it hold? Oh yeah, it was holding the microphone and right. Ooh, okay. That's quite cute with the art. I do like that. Wow, oh my god, guys. It's phenomenal. It really works. I can't believe it. No, it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't bloody work. I thought I imagined I just heard something. How can you tell? I think it's time for the oscilloscope. Just trying to figure out how we can fit an oscilloscope in here. I do have a pretty awful portable one, which I cannot see. Right, let me have a little think about this. This is where the fun and games. Electron Ash, it can't be configured by the I2C because there's not enough I/O on the thing. It's really annoying. If you had at least like one extra pin of I/O, you could do it, but you could do a lot of things, but you can't. If you had one extra piece of I/O, you could have a SPI chip select, which would give you the SPI DAC, but you can't do that on this. Right, I think I need to find that scope. It's sitting here somewhere. I was tempted actually to give that scope away as a prize, so I'm hoping I haven't done that and forgotten about it. Oh, here it is. Alright. Okay. Do 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 do. If it doesn't work, we'll have to use a real scope. I think this was kind of working last time I tried it. Ash, the details for all the chips and everything we're using are in the Git hub. I was going to say Git Labs, that's a different thing altogether. Right, I'm going to pop this on. Trying to figure out why I'm not seeing a trace. Where is our wave chip? So, by the way, if you're ever tempted with one of these, there is a kind of a bit of a problem with them in that it's a real whore. It's a real whore to I just want to check we've got this set right, maximum volume as well, in that the UI is terrible. Okay, let's get this right. Come on, you bastard. Now let's bin this piece of shit. I tell you what, that's going to be a prize soon. I even put the aftermarket UI on it and it's even worse now. Let's just do the real scope. Right, we're nearly there. Thank you for bearing with me. Rob, are you still on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
So Rob, this is that moment where you've got 200 tons of crap to shift around to get to your scopes.
We'll bring a van, shall I?
Oh, I tell you what, I've had enough. I have had enough of this mess. I'm going to tell all them people who want to send me stuff, just stop sending me stuff now.
You're turning into the 8-bit guy.
Send it to me.
It's a fucking nightmare, I tell you. Right.
Rob, we've got a high priority P1 going on. Look in the good eats room.
Right, we have scope, finally. I'm not even sure I get to set this up thing now. Okay. Right, so guys, I have a scope here, which I'm going to attempt to sort of share with you somehow, using the power of my webcam. There we go. Hopefully that's visible to you. Right. Let's get the pinouts here. Okay, so the I2S lines, I think we're talking ground here, and then we've got, I think we can zoom in more, we don't need to see the actual alien gameplay. Okay. I'm just going to check the board, I just want to make sure I've got the right ground. Yeah, there is a ground here. Do it more hands, really. So what was your P1, guys? What's someone posted?
The website for the local kebab house is down.
Right.
Too many connections.
So I've disconnected the headphones altogether because we don't really need that for actually just testing if the headphones are working.
That Predator board's pretty good, isn't it, for seeing the solder as well?
So that looks like that could be our clock there. And then we're going to go to the next one. There's a bit of weird action going on there, isn't there? One, two, three, four, five, six should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should have a 3v3 here. And we do. And interestingly enough, we should be able to see the these are the spy bus that are actually driving the screen. So it doesn't look like we're getting anything out of our IC. I'm going to have to get the pinouts for this bloody chip in a sec.
Guys on the chat, just
Yeah, Black
check it.
Hooks. Black Hawk's saying the Discord link is too old. I'll post a new one for you, mate.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, what's that we got there going on? Okay, we've got something interesting there, which is on the edge of C3. What line is there?
There you go, guys. That link will never expire. Give it to your friends.
It's never going to expire. Never going to give you up. Never going to do 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 do.
Are you saying Andrew Dalton's just put a Rickroll link? So when you do the start on the right D-pad, does it give you any sign that is switched?
It does, yeah, it did do that. It did do that. What I'm wondering is, Ash, you might be able to help me. There's a soft mute function here. If you can get the data sheet, and have a checkout of the soft mute circuit here, I'm just going to zoom it in so it's in the middle of the screen. So you've got the R1 and R5 going on there. Okay, so those are those two resistors that were here. Soft mute needs to be high. Hang on, Blackhawk saying that version has no DAC support. You hang on. I hope you're not saying what I think you're saying. Have we just flashed it with something again that's not right? Let's have a look at this soft mute. The reason I'm switching is I'm just going to plug in the head. I'm just going to plug in the headphones again, just to sort of and dick around with it, short out the soft mute, basically. You know what the problem is as well, Rob, is room. You always need loads of room, don't you? When you get it all cramped up like this, it gets stressful. Right. So let's short out R1 totally. Then that'll be banging that high, big time. R1. Shit, it works! Ha ha! Yoo-hoo! It does work.
Boosh.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Right, let's fix that now. Never gonna leave you up. Never gonna do. So what I would what if I maybe I put the wrong resistor in on R5? This one. I'm not that resistor there. It might be a bit too meaty. Anyway, if we get rid of that resistor. Oh yeah, no, Electron, it doesn't work like that, mate. If you're either going to suggest it or you're not, and if you didn't suggest it at the time, you don't get credit for it. That's it. It's working.
Is it just bad solder joint?
No. Here, listen. Left channel, right channel. That's it. It's working, and it's in stereo. Woohoo! That is cool as hell. Right. We're going to do some tests now. But I'm not going to do it with bloody Alien. That's a rubbish game, isn't it? Test this on. Ah, well done, everybody. I think that's nice, isn't it? We kind of got there. Shit. that was at least a relatively minor change too. So what we've got to do is either not put, well, you could just not put the resistor there, to be honest with you. Omit it or put a better one. So I do have the volume all the way up. It's not massively loud, to be honest with you, I don't think. But let's when it's running, I'll play the volume again in case it's not, you know. You know what? It's not too loud. You know, we were talking about adding an analog volume on this. It's fine. The loudest one is like loud enough, and the levels are fine. Woohoo! I'm getting a little bit of distortion though, to be fair. It sounds like a digital distortion. We need to check that. At the loudest volume, there's a touch of distortion. Yeah, there is. Yeah, so at maximum, I'm going to turn off my bloody scope. Yeah, maximum volume. It is a touch distorty. So I don't know. Sorry, it's bubble. It's bubble. I can't not play it. So try Game Boy Color game. Those are also stereo. Oh, I don't think I've got rooms for them, but let's have a look. Game Boy Color. No. Afraid not. Camots. Afraid not. Sega Master System might have some. What else do I have? I do have NES. Let's try NES. I mean, to be honest with you, if it works, I'm sure it'll just work in stereo. I'm not worried about that side. So. NES sounds alright. Let me try another one.
Yeah, it might be the emulation rather than an issue with the hardware.
Oh, Mega Man 2. I mean, if you're going to try audio, it's got to be Mega Man 2, right? No, it is distorting at maximum volume. It's alright up to 3, but when you go the next one, let me show you at home, boys and girls. Okay, ready? I'm going to hold that there. I'm going to push the volume again. I'm going to push the volume again. So I don't know if you got that, but yeah, okay. So I don't know about that distortion. I'm a bit concerned about it, to be honest with you. I mean, that's pretty bad, right? So Ash, what do you think? Is it the weird thing is, it almost sounds like you know, you've got the I2S or something when you've got the it's like bit shifted or something. So I don't know. I don't know. Right, so I guess the question is, I think we're kind of done with the hardware for a large part until it gets out and about in people's hands. So I'm going to be assembling a bunch of these, and probably just the same standard. Chrissy, thank you so much. You sent me enough parts to make 3. What I might just do is I might just assemble them, and I might pop a bit of resin onto that just to give that a little bit of strength. That headphone socket, it's fine actually. It's what's weird is this whole thing is actually pretty tough. I know it looks wobbly because it's obviously it's just on that little header, but yeah, it is fine. I mean, it also technically, let's try this. It's okay. Technically, you could probably pull off that blue thing. Anyways, what I'm trying to do, you could pull those blue things off, and I think it will fit even further into that port there. Really, really be good. So Camel's saying you captured the DAC output of max volume and line in, and it was very clear. Hang on, let's check some stuff here. Just checking the pins. It's belting out in my ear. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll set the scope up again, guys, so you can see what's happening. So Camuts, what are you saying about that one? Okay, let's just clip our... Oh, we've gone Predator. So we're just clipping our ground on there. So that's our audio channel basically. And you can see if we put it on 100 millivolts for div, right? So as I push it, the button, you'll see it gets bigger and bigger.
The guys are saying to double check pin 16 is grounded.
The FMT pin, yeah, I can see it's grounded. That'll be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top. Oh, hang on, is it? Just a sec. It certainly looks grounded on the drawings as well, but I'll check it. Well, I'll check it while I've got something in me head. I think I'm dexterous enough to ground it while. It honestly sounds to me though that it's second. Yeah, it's definitely grounded. I'm telling you, I'm pretty damn sure it's not the ground. God, digging this Mega Man. Let's have a look, see what have we got here. Could try getting rid of some of these caps. Chrissy, can I plug in speakers? That's a very good idea. Hang on. I do have... do have these pot noodle speakers, but I don't know if they've got any charge in them. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just tidying up some of these things as I go along. I'm running out of space here. Damn it! Run out of charge. Curse you, pot noodles. What other speakers have we got around here? Oh, I've got my actual PC speakers. Yeah, these are the these speakers. Oh, they're green in the camera. You can't see them right there. There you go. Actually, I've got the speakers that you guys are talking to me to. Of course, my PC speakers. I'll just try to find what a charge lead real quick, and if not, we'll just use them.
Ash and Camouts are saying that DAC's not designed for headphones. It's just a line out.
Yeah. I think that distortion to me sounds like it's being driven too hard, like it can't supply. I'm just going to switch real quick in the Discord. I'm just going to switch to my headset so I can pull out the speaker wires. Okay, I'm going to do that now. Alright, so now we go. So this is now speakers. Same issue, absolutely same.
Headphones!
Blew my headphones.
Right, so I'm going to play the push. Ready?
Ow.
My ears!
Your ears, right, there you go. Let's stop that. It's doing the same on speakers, basically. Yeah, RIP headphone users. The thing is I don't think it's actually... oh my gosh. There we go. So what you'll have been hearing, of course, is coming through the mic. It's not even a direct connection from the Odroid to the PC. Okay, right, back again. I'd have to look a little bit closer, I think, at some of these. Camouts, I can't believe it could be a bad solder joint on this. I've never had this issue on any audio stuff because of that. I mean, it's either making the contact or it's not, though, right? Why would it only start to do it at high value? It's not kicking out massive current. But I tell you what, I could hit this with the hot air blower real quick. I can do that, and I can even set the camera up so you can see me doing that there. I'm going to go hit it with the hot air blower. There we go. My back office board is over there though. Okay. Toasty. Very toasty indeed. Right. Let's do this. Sheesh, that's bloody hot. Sometimes though it might be it's probably still too hot, and then you shove it in, and all of the gubbins fall out of it.
Looks a bit neater now, at least.
Yeah, it's all like sorted itself out. Right. Oh shit! It's not working now. Shorted it out now. I can see we've shorted VDD and C app on here. Great. Okay. Chrissy, I didn't fully remove that resistor, I just left it sitting there out of the way for now. I've got to go do a little bit of a clean up on this thing. If I can find, where's my Soldering? We did have that earlier, didn't we? Yeah, under the old silly scope. Okay. Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another meme. I agree, totally. Worth removing R5 and replacing with a solder blob. Okay, let's see what R5 is. Replace it with a solder blob. Let's see, R5. I'm just looking at the diagram where R5 is on that. Well, I've just removed R5 basically, Ash. I've just removed it. That was my thing for that one. If you replace R5 with the solder blob though, that'll pull the soft mute hard to ground, won't it? And that'll be that's what was causing us our problems originally. Oh, replacing R1 with a solder blob. Yeah, we could do. We could do while we're here. So this is the R5 and R1 with a solder blob. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Get rid of that. A little test. And now though, you can see there we had a little bit of a boo-boo. Might see it. Can see it in the negative better. So we're going to try to clean that up. Again, I might try just to put a tiny bit of flux on there. Got it. I'm just going to hold it up to my head and then up to my eyes. C2 not soldered, says Ash. Let's see what he means by C2 not soldered. Put my soldering iron. Which one is C2? C2 is that one. So I think they're saying the test is to try to remove C2 altogether. But let me plug it in first. I don't hear anything. Oh yeah, no, it was me. Okay, so it's working again now. So I'm actually listening to it whilst I'm messing with it, which is a bit fun. C2's okay. That was our mute. Ah, there we go. Hang on. Hey, it sounds fine when I touch this up here. Straight, there's something going on with these. Hang on. Let's double check the values of C9 and C8. That's fine when I do that. Okay, just removing C9, it's fine. Electron Ash, removing C9 is absolutely fine. Beautiful. That's it. That's it. Weird. Let's have a look at that, what we've got there going on with C9. No distortion, nothing. I can only think maybe the value of C9 could be improved upon. Okay, well, if you don't need it, you don't need it. Yeah, C9 back in. Bad. C9 out, fine. So what I might do is check the values of C8 and C9 in case they're having an issue. But that's it now, perfect. It's absolutely perfect now.
Do you think C8 out left, or is that out left? You think you would have the same problem?
Nope, that's it, perfect. Yoo-hoo! We're done. It's so clear. No, and it's absolutely fine. I'm not going to fit a volume control, guys. For everybody, remember we were discussing putting a volume control on that thing? I'm not going to bother. It doesn't need it. Trust me. It's absolutely fine. It's got enough. It's fine. That's working good. That's working good. No, it sounds fine, Electron Ash. Even at the lower volumes, it's fine. Oh, Mega Man music has never sounded so good to me. Oh yes. Woohoo! Right. So I don't know. We just pull those caps out of the design, just not fit them. I don't know if it's needed. Yeah, I mean C8 and C9 are pretty much the same thing. So hang on, give us a sec. While we're still in the stream, let's just try a different value, shall we? So we put a 2. They were a 2 U2. To be honest, why do we even bother with them? I don't think we need them.
What was the purpose of them?
Yes. So now, technically, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to sell these initial batch of boards. I have promised. There's been a lot of people asking for them. But what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to get another one of these boards when I have a spare one, you know, after everybody else is happy, and I'm going to mount one internally in here for sure. I can see in the shell there's loads of space there, so I'm going to mount one internally, and I'm going to just route it through, because you don't have to route all of these wires. If you look at the diagram, the circuit diagram, I mean you're only really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins, maybe 6 pins. So yeah, Electron, I think I used the reference design. What have I put them? Oh, we've put them as microfarads, not nanofarads. Whoopsie. Okay. Something to change in the design for the V2. Okay, let me just do that right now. We'll edit that. I'm going to put my silly scope down. We'll correct our PCB. So we are looking that maybe the values, if we're going to correct that, should be N2, N2, or just leave them off. That should be fine. I mean, are we using any other nanofarad range? I mean, you could just plop on one of these ones. Probably that 0.1 microfarad might be okay. No. Yeah, maybe.
C2 is 100
okay.
nanofarad.
I think it'll probably be fine. Right. So, is there any questions or any discussion we want to have on this, or are we happy? Are we done? Are we effectively done with this project now? Let's get that going. There we go. Woohoo! Chrissy, it wasn't. No, Chrissy, without you, nothing would have happened. You are the catalyst that's made this a reality today. I mean, that does work. I mean, while it's not so pretty, I mean, I got to improve. I mean, because the headphone thing was, of course, designed to be mounted on the other side. Actually, I could flip that, couldn't I? Why did I put it on the back just because it was a convenience because of the soldering side? But these are through-hole things. You could just put it on this side, basically. It's not a big deal. So Electron Ash says, I'd probably keep the 2.2 nanofarad caps as it would add proper filtering for when you're using line out. The load of the headphones would be adding something. Yeah. Well, I've added them in the diagram. I would definitely add them to the BOM. For me, dicking around though, I think it's working. It's working enough. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you're making more, which I'll be adding some for sure. I think I have a whole load of different surface mount caps from previous audio projects. I will do a little experiment now though. I'm just going to take off both of those caps though. I don't think there's no point just having one off. If you're going to take both off because they're both kind of a pair. There won't be any imbalance there. They'll either both be okay or both be wrong. Yeah, that's fine. So the USB soldering iron, by the way, was okay in the end, wasn't it? It did serve its purpose, which is not bad. So let's try that out. Yeah, that's fine. Woohoo! Mega Man! Yeah, I think it's pretty acceptable, to be honest. The five standard volume ranges are alright. So all I need to do on my one now is actually just undo it so I can get the bloody speaker back in. You know, I made that analog mod. I kind of have to undo all of that, but I'll do that probably when I mount hardware internally to the jack I've already fitted on my one. But yeah, groovy. So, any questions, guys? Yeah, so Electron Ash, the internal speaker does have an internal I2S DAC on that hardware, as far as I can see from the data sheets. So it should be pretty good, isn't it? All in all, it's just weird. It's not stereo, by the way. I don't think it's a stereo DAC, or at least they're running it in a differential output mode, not single-ended. So it's using up all of its beef, basically. The internal speaker does use. Alex, he says, you need another pair of headphones, in my opinion. Okay. Cheers. Who? Me? Why do I need another one? Electron Ash. That's not the. It's not the point. The point. Let's talk about the point of this, right? The point was I switched mine to wire it in, right? So it wasn't stereo, the jack, but I just wanted headphones, right? Because I didn't want to, when I'm using this on an aeroplane or something, and I want to hear the music, I didn't want it coming out the speaker. So there was no option to have both the speaker and the internal headphone, maybe unless you had a switching headphone socket. So the whole point of this thingy is so that it allows you to switch between a headphones or the internal speaker. And by the way, there's something else I want to show you boys and girls at home, which is so sweet. In fact, I'm going to try to do the mod while we're talking. There is another way that this has been, I'm going to say designed, but it was more serendipity. I didn't actually design it to do this, but if it works, it's going to be sweet. Check this out. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling this off. Let's switch back to our camera, shall we? I'll switch back to our camera so you can see what's going on. This is kind of quite cute if it works. It should. So technically you see the pins, so I pulled them off, and remember I said earlier so it could go in deeper, but it won't because of that big lump there. Now technically if we can bend these pins, and I might regret doing this, I might break the PCB, which I think I have. Yes, I have. Not good. Anyway, it's alright. The through hole. Okay. Don't do what I just did. Just solder them in properly like that. But look, if you get this just right, you should be able to mount it real close, because look, it's the same shape. Can't believe I just did that, by the way. So there we go, look at that. I'm going to try it now because it might not work again, because I kind of did semi-cock up the PCB just then. It's alright, it's not broken, it just needs to be, I need to touch that up with a soldering iron. Yes, it still works. Woohoo! There you go. So, how about that then? You have choices, is all I want to say. You have choices in how you mount it, but that's pretty slick. So with a smaller headphone socket, maybe the original one. So please spread the word. I would love to see anybody, if you want to, feel free to take some screenshots from this and post them out there, and get anybody who's interested to come to the Discord, and we will discuss, because I need to start getting some ideas on how many of these to make. So I hope that's been of some interest to you. I think we've been streaming enough. I think we've discussed it enough, but that's cute, right? That's cute. I'm going to take this on the bench and retouch up these pins now and put pin header through for that. But, now you've got both ways. See how many pins gets left in when I take it out. Not many. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? There you go. So there's your opportunity for a screenshot, guys, if you want to post these in a forum or something, so you could get some feedbacks for me. But yeah, I think that's kind of cute, right? Works. Excelente, excelente. And that's another good reason really for mounting the headphone thing on the back, so that you can get that flat finish. But you know, I could let you guys decide, leave the pin header off and let you solder it how you want, to be honest with you. Depends if you want to experiment or not. I mean, that's for debugging, that was amazingly good to have it that way, but if you had it that way, we'd have been kind of screwed without some extensions there. So right, my lovelies, my loverlies, I'm gonna go do something else now. I don't know what, just anything else. And it's not even gonna be playing Odroid, I can tell you that. But yeah, thanks so much. Jump in on the Discord and the streams. I've got a couple of random videos. I can't remember the videos that are coming out on Saturday and Sunday. They're not necessarily going to be about this, because I recorded some in advance because I knew I was going to be traveling. So if I have time, I'll try to do some videos on this and inject them instead of those ones on Saturday and Sunday. If not, you know, probably stay in the Discord for more live up to the second Odroid going ons, and then the general public will see the other stuff in due course. So have a good evening and a good weekend, and speak to you soon. All the best. Bye.